Welcome back. Now we've implemented enemy death, but we saw that as soon as we kill the enemy, it just gets back up and stands there. So we need to take care of what happens after the enemy dies, and we'll do that in this video. So we're going to go ahead and create a new function in the enemy class. This is going to be blueprint callable, and this is going to take care of what happens once the enemy is finished dying. So let's create a function. It's going to be void and call this finish death, and this will be a u function, and we'll make it blueprint callable. Now, this is going to be called from an anim notify at the end of the death animation. Let's give this a function body. And what we're going to do is destroy the enemy. So we're going to call it destroy. And anything else you want to happen once the enemy is finished dying can happen here. So we have this nice little function, and we can do anything else we want here. Play some particle systems, show a widget, really anything we like. But for now, all we're going to do is destroy the actor. So we should see the enemy disappear at the end of this death animation. Now, we'll never actually reach this function if we keep shooting the enemy when the enemy's health has gone to 0. So we need to prevent the ability to spam our death animation by creating a Boolean condition. Let's go ahead and go into enemy and create a private bool, and we'll call this BDying. Now, BDying can be set to false by default. So let's go ahead and give it a default value here of false in the constructor. Now here in the die function, we can check this Boolean. So we can say if BDying return. That way, if we're already dying, we don't need to perform any of this code here in the die function again. It's already happened, and at the end of the death animation, the enemy will be destroyed. Now, if BDying is false, that means this is the first time we're calling the die function, and we can set BDying equal to true. So this check will prevent us from calling die multiple times. So we can compile this, and while this is compiling, we can head back into the editor and go into the enemy death montage, and scrolling to the end of the death animation, we can right-click in our notifies bar, add a notify, and create new notify, and we're going to call this end death. Now let's go into the blueprint in the event graph and right-click and search for end death. Now here's our notify. Here is where we can call our blueprint callable function. So let's copy try get pawn owner and cast to enemy BP. So we're going to drag off of as enemy BP and call finish death. So now at the end of the death montage, we call finish death and we will destroy the enemy. Let's give this a try. I'm going to go ahead and kill the enemy. And we can still see the enemy start to get up at the end of that animation. So I'm going to go into enemy death and bring this end death just a little bit before the end of the death animation. Let's go ahead and try this now. Now the enemy will disappear before it starts to get up again. Okay, that's going to take care of enemy death. We now have a functional enemy that can attack the player and will die when we shoot it down to 0 health. Next, we're going to take care of character death. I'll see you in the next video.